It started with a voicemail, not a message, not a text, not something easy to ignore. A voicemail, the kind you don't expect anymore, the kind that feels intentional. Lena almost didn't listen to it. She saw the unknown number, let it ring, watched the screen go dark. And that should have been it. But something small and quiet made her tap it. Just once, she held the phone to her ear, and then she heard his voice. "Hey, I don't know if this is still your number, but I had to try." Her breath caught because she knew that voice. Even after all these years, Ethan, she hadn't heard it in 5 years. 5 years since everything ended, or, more accurately, since everything just stopped. No big goodbye, no closure, just distance, time, and life happening too fast. She sat down slowly, like her body suddenly forgot how to stand. "I was in town today," his voice continued, "and I passed by that coffee place. You know, the one where you always ordered something way too sweet." A small, involuntary smile appeared on her face. "I don't know why, but I thought about you, and I guess I just wanted to hear your voice again, even if it's just your voicemail." A pause, soft breathing on the other end. "If this is weird, I'm sorry. Just ignore it." Another pause. "Take care, Lena." The message ended, but she didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't think, because suddenly everything came rushing back. The late nights, the long walks, the way he used to look at her like she was something rare, something worth holding on to, and then the way it all disappeared. Not because they stopped loving each other, but because life pulled them in different directions, different cities, different dreams, different timing. She placed the phone down, but her heart wouldn't calm down. It felt like something unfinished had just been reopened, something she buried a long time ago, and yet it didn't feel painful. It felt alive. She stood up, paced the room, picked up the phone again, stared at the number. Should she call back? What would she even say? "Hi, it's been 5 years. Do you still feel the same?" No, that wasn't how this worked. Or maybe it was. She pressed call before she could change her mind. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. Then, "Hello," his voice, clear, real, right there. Her heart skipped. Hi, silence. Then a soft exhale. "Lena, yeah, it's me." Another pause, longer this time, like both of them were trying to understand how this moment was real. "I didn't think you'd call back," he said quietly. "I almost didn't," she admitted. A small laugh escaped him. "Yeah, that sounds about right." Silence again, but not awkward, just unfamiliar. "So, you're in town?" she asked. "Just for a few days. Work stuff, nothing exciting." Another pause, and then, "Do you want to meet?" he asked. No hesitation, no overthinking, just honesty. Lena felt her chest tighten. 5 years, and somehow, it still felt like yesterday. "I don't know," she said softly. "Yeah, that's fair," he replied quickly. "I mean, we don't have to." "I just thought—" "I do," she interrupted. Silence. "You do?" he asked. "Yeah, I think I want to see you." A breath of relief on the other end. "Okay." They agreed on a place, the same coffee shop he mentioned. Of course, it felt almost too predictable, too perfect, like something out of a story. But maybe some stories don't end, they just pause. The next day, Lena stood outside the coffee shop, her heart racing, her mind full of questions she couldn't answer. What if nothing is the same? What if everything is? What if it hurts? What if it doesn't? She took a deep breath and walked in, the smell of coffee, warm lights, quiet conversations, and then she saw him, sitting by the window, looking almost exactly the same and completely different at the same time. He looked up. Their eyes met, and just like that, 5 years disappeared. He stood up slowly. "Hi, hi." They both smiled, a little nervous, a little unsure, but something was still there, something familiar, something real. They sat down, ordered coffee. Hers, still too sweet. His, still simple. Some things don't change. So, he said. So, she replied. They both laughed, and just like that, the tension broke. They started talking. At first, small things, work, cities, life updates, but slowly, they got deeper. Why didn't we fight for it? She asked quietly. He looked down for a moment. I thought you were happier without me. I thought you didn't want me to stay. Same story, different people, same mistake, silence. But this time, it didn't stay. I never stopped thinking about you, he admitted. Me neither. The words hung between them, heavy but honest. What are we doing right now? She asked. I don't know, he said, but I don't want to pretend we don't feel this. Neither did she. Days passed. They kept meeting, walking through the city, talking for hours, laughing like no time had passed. But time had passed, and it showed. They were different now, stronger, more aware, more careful. But maybe that's what they needed back then. Time. One evening, they sat by the river, watching the lights reflect on the water. I leave in 2 days, Ethan said. Her chest tightened. Of course, reality, I know. Silence. What if we try again, he said. She turned to him. Different cities, different lives, same problem. Not the same, he said. We're not the same people anymore. She thought about it, about everything, about how easy it would be to walk away again, and how hard it would be to try. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too, but I don't want to lose you again, he added. That was it, that one sentence, the one that mattered. She smiled softly, then don't. And just like that, they chose, not perfectly, not easily, but intentionally. He left, she stayed, but this time they didn't disappear. They called, texted, visited, tried, really tried. Months passed, then a year, and one day, Lena stood at the airport, holding a one-way ticket, not running away, not escaping, but moving towards something, toward him, toward them. She stepped onto the plane, heart racing, but steady, because this time, it wasn't about timing, or distance, or fear. It was about choice, and this time, they chose each other, and they didn't let go. The moment Lena stepped off the plane, everything felt different, not because the city was new, not because the air smelled unfamiliar, but because this time, she wasn't arriving alone. She was arriving with a choice already made, a quiet, steady certainty in her chest. Ethan was waiting for her just outside the terminal, leaning slightly against a pillar, hands in his pockets, trying to look calm, but she could see it. The way he kept glancing toward the exit, the way he shifted his weight, the way he wasn't as composed as he wanted to be. Then he saw her, and everything else disappeared. No crowd, no noise, no time, just them. Lena slowed down for a second, not out of hesitation, but because she wanted to feel this moment fully. Every step, every breath, every second of finally being in the same place again. And then, she stopped in front of him. Hi, hi. A soft laugh escaped both of them, because somehow, after everything, it still felt surreal. You're actually here, he said quietly. I am. For a moment, they didn't move, like they were both afraid that if they rushed it, it might break. Then Ethan stepped forward and pulled her into his arms. This time, there was no hesitation, no uncertainty, just warmth, familiar and new at the same time. Lena closed her eyes, and for the first time in years, everything felt right. Not perfect, not easy, but right. They pulled away slowly, still close, still holding on to each other, like neither of them wanted to be the first to let go. Was the flight okay? He asked. Yeah, I didn't sleep at all. Same, he smiled. I didn't sleep either, and I wasn't even on the plane. She laughed softly. And just like that, it felt natural again. Like the distance, the years, the waiting had all led to this exact moment. They walked out of the airport together, side by side, no rush, No need to fill the silence, because now silence didn't feel like distance. It felt like comfort. The city moved around them, cars passing, people talking, life happening everywhere. But Lena felt like she was slightly outside of it, like everything had slowed down, focused, centered on him. "So," he said. "So," she replied. They both smiled. "Your new life starts now," he added. Lena looked ahead, then back at him. "Not new," she said softly, "just continued." He nodded, understanding, more than before. They reached his car. He opened the door for her, a small gesture, but it meant something, because this time, it wasn't about impressing her, it was about choosing her, again and again. The drive was quiet but not empty. They talked about small things, music, places, plans, but underneath it all, there was something deeper, something both of them felt but hadn't said yet. When they arrived, Lena stepped out slowly, taking in the place that was now part of her life, not temporary, not distant, real. "This is it," Ethan said. She nodded. "This is it." Pause in tone, but natural through pacing. Days turned into weeks, and slowly they began to build something new, not what they had before, but something stronger. They learned each other again, not who they used to be, but who they had become. New habits, new routines, new versions of themselves. There were moments of laughter, late-night conversations, quiet mornings when nothing needed to be said, but there were also moments, small ones, where fear returned. One night, Lena sat by the window, watching the city lights flicker in the distance. Ethan walked up behind her. "You're thinking again," he said softly. "Yeah." He didn't ask right away, just stood there with her. "What if it doesn't work this time?" she finally said. There it was, the fear, not loud, not overwhelming, but real. Ethan took a breath. "What if it does?" he replied. She turned to him. "That's not an answer." "It is," he said gently, "because we can't live like we're already expecting it to fail." Silence. "But what if we mess it up again?" she asked. He stepped closer. "Then we fix it, not run." "Initiation hydraul," he added. "Not stay silent, not assume." Lena looked at him, really looked at him, and saw something different. Not the same boy she once loved, but someone stronger, someone who learned, someone who stayed. "I don't want to lose this," she whispered. "You won't," he said, "because this time we're not letting it slip away." Weeks turned into months, and something changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but steadily, like something finally falling into place. They argued, but they talked it through. They got scared, but they didn't hide it. They had doubts, but they faced them together. And one evening, sitting on the couch, Lena leaned against him, quiet, comfortable. "You know what's different this time," she said. "What?" "We're not afraid to say things anymore." He smiled slightly. "Yeah. We learned that one the hard way." She laughed softly. "Yeah, we did." A pause. "But it was worth it," she added. He looked at her. "Everything we went through, even the part where we lost each other." Another pause. "Because it led us back here." He nodded, slowly. "Yeah, it did. And in that moment, there was no past, no distance, no what-ifs, just two people who almost lost everything and chose to find their way back, not by chance, not by luck, but by choosing each other every single day. And this time, they didn't let go."